You're very welcome back now. In the noughties, Galway man Niall Kerins was one of the country's best-known GAA stars, winning an All-Ireland football title in 2001, while also a stalwart of the county's hurling team for years.
He's blushing. But it was his charity work in Africa through the Niall Kerins project that also marked him out of the herd. Now he's raising money for Temple Street after his son was treated there for a rare illness. Good morning to you, Alan.
Morning, Alan.
Good morning. How are you?
Thanks for joining us. We'll get to the African project in a moment because the stats around that, and Simon and I were chatting about it earlier on, it's just so impressive. But something that's extremely close to your heart at the moment is Temple Street, and for good reason, Alan.
Yeah, I suppose 17 months ago, our little boy was born, Ruan. He was actually born on our wedding anniversary on the 15th of December.
Right.
And the day after he was born, he was rushed to intensive care in Galway. And then we were rushed up to Temple Street just 2 days before Christmas Eve in 2015. Then he was diagnosed with a rare illness, congenital hyperinsulinism. And so we were rushed to Temple, which is it's an illness of the pancreas, where the pancreas is producing too much insulin. And then he couldn't keep his blood sugars up, which is very dangerous for his brain. Yeah, there's a picture from there.
My heart can't take it.
Yeah.
Oh, Catherine.
So, yeah.
So and the little gloves on him to scratch himself.
That's in Temple Street. So we spent Christmas in Temple Street, New Year's in Temple Street, and we spent the first 2 months of his life in high dependency in Temple Street in St Michael's B and Michael's HDU. Yeah. Under Professor Niall Murphy, and they were just sensational, really. We
were talking about the gang of Temp. They're a phenomenal group of people, aren't they?
They are, and I suppose they give unbelievable medical care, but it's not just that. They made us feel right at home as a family, and it was the emotional and love, the emotional care, the psychological care, and the love they gave us as a struggling, first-time parents. But also we couldn't stay with him in the hospital because he was in high dependency. But you knew that every time you came in, if he was crying, somebody was cuddling him or rocking him back to sleep.
The love and attention that they give him, as well as the care.
And how is he now?
He's flying it, yeah. He's 17 months now, running around.
There he is, look at him.
17 months, yeah.
Beautiful Baba, look.
Yeah,
gorgeous.
He is. So he's a great little guy.
So he got the treatment at the time.
We were in Temple Street, and he didn't respond to the first line medication that most kids do, or the second. So we had to go to Manchester then for 2 months. Okay. So he had life-saving surgery on his pancreas. So he had a small bit of his pancreas removed. We got lucky. We thought he had to lose all his pancreas, or 95% of it. It's called a subtotal pancreatectomy. But the scan was wrong in Manchester, and it turned out he only had to remove a small lesion rather than most of his pancreas. So we got very lucky in the end.
And is he out of the woods now in terms of the condition? Or?
Yeah, we went back to Temple Street then for another month, and they're just unbelievable. We're back next 2 weeks for a checkup, but he's fine. He's fine. He's made a full recovery.
That's amazing.
We're very lucky. Yeah.
In terms of family life, like the travelling up and down to Temple Street, Manchester. Yeah. How does that affect yourself and your
we didn't. We stayed.
Just get on it.
We stayed. You just get through it. You know, it's so tough, and you have to hand over your trust to the doctors and nurses because you've no control. So it was very hard for my wife Kira as well because, you know, the attachment of a mother, she couldn't hold him at night time. I used to leave him every night and go back to Hugh's house, which is run by Temple. That's where we stayed, or the parents' accommodation, or the Crow Park Hotel were so good to us as well. They put it up, Alan Smullen there. But people are so good to you in those situations. And my own work, Girls to Self of Africa, allowed me, just take the time off and come back to us when you're ready. So I was given 4 months, off there to focus on my family, and we relocated to Manchester for 2 months, and that was really tough, being away from family and friends.
So to say thank you to them, you're going to cycle around the Ring of Kerry.
Yeah, well, Angie, you know Angie McNulty.
Angie.
So you can't say no to Angie.
No,
but my wife Kira did the mini marathon last year, and she raised 4,000 or 5,000 for them. But Angie, I'm going to do the Ring of Kerry this year for them, and I have 1 or 2 major events planned in the next year or two to do, because I suppose you cannot repay, the treatment they gave us, and in particularly Ruan, and they saved his life really. So. And he's a very smiley, happy boy today, and I'm convinced it's because of that love and care the nurses were in Michael's B and Michael's HC under Bridget there. She's another powerful woman. Niall Murphy and Eve McGrath and everyone there were just amazing.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Well, that's one way to say thank you. Can we talk about your African project? Because this is what Simon and I were having a chat about earlier on. You have raised 5 million to date, €5 million.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah, well, just people are so generous.
Would you say it's all the more incredible because over the 10 years, most of it we were in recession?
Yeah, most of it a lot of it were in recession. I started in 2005, and in our 10th year in 2015, we decided to partner up with Girth Self Up Africa and merge, and because they were working in Zambia as well. But over those 10 years, I suppose the majority of it was in recession. But I think it was the sporting community, the GA community, and Irish people have just a huge history of giving.
Yeah.
I suppose if you tell the story and you're passionate enough about it and the cause is good enough, people will support. And if you explain what you're doing.
Well, I think you've explained it very well. You've put together a very clever pitch, I suppose, in terms of convincing people how important this is. But I was interested to read about your dad years ago when you were a little boy.
It's a great story about this planting the seed, watching Live Aid.
Completely.
Oh, yeah.
Take us back to that, because I think that probably started something inside you.
Yeah, well, I suppose I went in 2005, and why did I pick Africa? I don't know. But everybody started to ask me, why Africa? Why didn't you do some voluntary work in Ireland? But when I dug deep into subconscious mind, I said, why really did I go? I trace it back to 1984 when I was 7, and Live Aid was on the television, and the scenes of the emaciated babies and the people starving was really graphic on the news, and I used to hide behind the couch because I was afraid to watch the images. But that year, it was the middle of a recession as well. We'd my 5 children, or my parents had 5 kids, and they hadn't that much money at the time. But my dad won the captain's prize in golf in his local golf club, Garth Golf Club. Yeah. And during that time they used to have a bet on each other or have a sweepstakes, and he backed himself. And he won, I think it was 800 or 1,800 pounds at the time, which is big money back then. Yeah. And he gave every penny of it to Live Aid. And that, I suppose, the combination of the emotion of watching the scenes on the television and that simple act that he did must have triggered something in my brain.
And stayed with you.
Yeah, and little did he realise that simple act would result in me raising millions for the same cause 30 years later.
Yeah, it stayed with you.
So I suppose never underestimate the power of your positive actions on people, or the ripple effect it can have.
It wasn't off the ground you licked it.
No. Yeah, he was a great role model of mine and my mum as well. And I suppose that simple act, as I said, you don't understand. People never underestimate the power of their actions, be it both positive or negative on people. And that simple act, I suppose, resulted in me inspiring me 30 years later.
And in terms of the latest thing, the cycle around the Ring of Kerry, how can people donate to you?
Yeah, I have to go onto Temple Street website, and we'll be putting up Everyday Heroes as well online. Good. And contact Temple Street. They're just, I can't emphasise how much that money will be well used there, and how many children's lives it will save.
And as you say, all headed by that tour de force that is Angie McNulty.
Yes,
so Angie, we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Aww.
Yeah.
Listen, it's lovely to see you.
Alan.
Thanks guys. Thanks for having us on. Yeah.